first one, we are doing practice day of all of the content from Unit 1. Our first problem, name a plane. So, how do we name a plane? With 3 letters that aren't on a line, or a capital cursive letter. So how could we name this plane? We could say plane R, or plane X, Y, Z. If you had said M or W, those aren't on the plane. If you said X, V, Z, those are all on one line. So that doesn't name the plane. Next up, a segment. How can we name a segment? Segment XV, or you could use the bar over top. There's a lot of segments on this one, so you could have said segment XY as well. And there's several more. But 2 letters that are actually connected. Then we need to name a line. So, line. If you say XVZ, that is not correct because we do not use 3 letters to name a line. How many letters do we use to name a line? 2. So line X, Y. Or you could do line X, Z. The next one, name 4 coplanar points. So there are only 4 on this picture, and they are V, X, Y, and Z. Name 4 non-coplanar points. So what letter has to be in this? W. And then choose 3 other points in this figure. So X, Y, and Z. Again, can't use M or R because M names the line, it's lowercase. R names the plane, it's capital and cursive. Then the next one, name the intersection of line or of the plane and a line not on the plane. So this line's on the plane, this one's on the plane, this one's on the plane. This one is going through it. So this is line M, or you could say line ZW, because we are intersecting at that point. Think of this as a 3-dimensional figure. Then we need to name ray. There are several in this. So you could say ray ZW, or ray VZ, or if you're using your symbol, ray VX. Our next 3, we are finding each measure. The first one is BC. How do we find the length of BC? The absolute value of -4 minus 2. And -4 minus 2 is -6, and the absolute value of that is 6. Because remember, distance and length are always positive. Okay, then we have DE. How do we find that length? Again, absolute value. D is at 0. minus a negative 3.5. That's the output value of 3.5, which is still 3.5. And then we want the length of CD. C is at 2, D is at 0. So the absolute value of 2 minus 0 is the absolute value of 2, which is 2. Number 11, a pole vaulter uses a 1-foot long pole. Okay, so we have a 21-foot long pole. So there's the line segment. We know it is 21 feet long. She grips the pole so that the segment below her left hand is twice as long as the segment above her left hand. So she has her left hand, and the segment below her left hand is twice the length of the segment above it. So twice the length means 2x. So from here to here is 2x. Here to here is x. Her right hand grips the pole 2.1 feet above her left hand. So her right hand is here, and in between those two hands is 2.1 feet. How far up the pole is her right hand? Okay, so how would we set this up? Okay, for those of you who said add 2x plus x plus 2.1 equals 21, you're close, but you need to look at this. Is this 2.1 part of it twice? Yeah, it is. So we only need the 2x and the x. Those are our two parts that actually add up to this whole. So 2x plus x equals 21. We're going to combine our like terms. So 3x equals 21. Divide by 3 on both sides. So x equals 7. And then our question, how far up the pole is her right hand? So we want the length from the right hand to the ground. All of that, which is 2x and that 2.1. So we're going to have to add that. So we need to substitute x in. So 2 times 7 plus 2.1 is 16.1 feet. Next up, we want to find the measure of each angle and classify each as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. First one is angle TWV. So again, highlight that angle that you're looking at. Where is ray WT at? 0, because we're using the outside numbers. And where's ray WV at? 105 degrees. So what's the measure of this angle? 105 degrees. Because 105 minus 0 is 105. And what kind of angle is it? Obtuse. And next up, angle XWV. XWV. So we already know where ray WV is at. Where is ray WX at? 40. And then what are we going to do with those two numbers? Subtract them. And we get 65 degrees. And what kind of angle is that? It's acute. Remember that a right angle has to equal 90 degrees. A straight angle has to equal 180 degrees. Next up, ray QT is in the interior of angle PQR. Find the measure of angle PQT. If the measure of angle PQR equals 55 degrees, and the measure of angle RQT equals 14 degrees. So what should we draw here? An angle, because we've got an angle sign. And how would we label? PQR, and T being in between. And we know PQR, this whole thing, is 55 degrees. And we know angle RQT is 14 degrees. And we are trying to figure out angle PQT, this angle here. So what should we put there? An X, because we don't know it. So X plus 14 equals 55. And next step, subtract 14. So that angle is 41 degrees because it was X. Next up, same picture. So we've got angle PQT, or PQR, sorry, and T in between. We know PQR, which again is the whole angle, is 7x plus 4. We know angle RQT, bottom one, is 8x minus 1. And we know that angle PQT, top one, is 6x minus 23. How are we going to set this up? Mm-hmm. 6x minus 23 plus 8x minus 1 equals 7x plus 4. Combine your like terms. 14x minus 24 equals 7x plus 4. And then subtract 7x. So 7x minus 24 equals 4. And then add 24. So 7x equals 28. Divide by 7. And x equals 4. Now, it asked us to figure out angle PQT. So that means we need to substitute in for angle PQT. So we had 6x minus 23. So 6 times 4 minus 23 is 1. So that angle is 1 degree. Next one, same kind of picture. But there's another word in this that tells me a bit more information. What is that word? Yeah, bisects. It means that these two smaller angles are congruent. And we know angle RQT, bottom angle is 11x minus 3, and angle PQT, top angle is 7x plus 13. And what can we do because they are congruent? Set them equal. And then what do we do? Subtract 7x. So 13 equals 4x minus 3. And then add 3 to both sides. So 16 equals 4x. Divide by 4. So x is 4. And we were looking for the measure of angle PQR. That is the whole angle. So we need to add the 7x plus 13 and the 11x minus 3 together. And we have to substitute this 4 in for our x's. So 7 times 4 plus 13 plus 11 times 4 minus 3. And we get 81 degrees for the measure of our angle. Next up, name the ray that angle LMN and angle KML share. So look at our letters here. What is the same between these two angles? Okay, the L is the same, and the M is the same. Which letter is the vertex? The M is the vertex. So that is where you have to start. Ray ML. Next up, supplement of angle Y. What's supplement mean? Subtract from 180. So what are we subtracting from 180? That 8x minus 20. Now notice I kept the parentheses on this. And the reason I kept it is because we are subtracting this whole thing, meaning that there is a negative 1 in front of this that we need to distribute. So that is 180 minus 8x plus 20. And what are our like terms? That 180 and that 20. So we're going to combine them. So we get 200 minus 8x. Now for this one, that is our answer because there was a variable as part of our measure for our angle. So our answer is 200 minus 8x. The next step, complement of angle Z. What's complement mean? Subtracting from 90, and we're going to subtract that 42.1 from 90. which gets us 47.9 degrees. And then our last one, angle DEF and angle FEG are supplementary. Measure of angle DEF is 9x plus 1. Measure of angle FEG is 8x plus 9. Find the measure of both angles. So what's supplementary mean? Adds to 180. So that's what we're going to do. Add these two angles and set them equal to 180. So 9x plus 8x is 17x. 1 plus 9 is 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. So 17x is 170. Divide by 17 on both sides, and x is 10. We are not finished though, because it asked us to find both angles. So we need to plug in measure of angle DEF, 9 times 10 plus 1 is 91 degrees. Measure of angle FEG, 8 times 10 plus 9 is 89 degrees. Please make sure that you are using your notes on your assignment today and referring to them to know what you need to do. And don't just think that they're the exact same numbers. They aren't. So please refer to your notes to refresh your mind on what you need to do.